Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today we're diving deep into one of the most interesting and eye-catching modern coins of the United States. This tiny piece of metal, the 2009 Lincoln Professional Life Penny, has become a favorite among collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who enjoys turning pocket change into real value. So sit back, relax, and listen, because this is one of those coins you do not want to overlook. 2009 was a big year for the American penny. It was the 200th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, and also the 100th anniversary of the very first Lincoln cent. To celebrate, the United States Mint released 4 special designs. Each coin represented a different chapter of Lincoln's life, but the professional life design carries a special charm. It shows Lincoln during his early public career, standing tall as a successful lawyer and rising statesman in Springfield. This design symbolizes ambition, growth, and the beginning of the journey that would lead him to become one of the greatest presidents America has ever seen. The fascinating thing about these coins is that they were made in 2 main versions. The first type is the regular everyday circulation strike, mostly zinc with a thin copper layer, the kind that millions of people received in their change during that year. The second type is the collector version, struck in real copper with sharper details and beautiful finishes, used in mint sets and proof sets. While the regular circulation coins are common, the collector versions, especially the brilliantly preserved ones, can be much more desirable. Now let's talk rarity. While many 2009 pennies were produced, only a small fraction survived in perfect mint condition. Even fewer have the rare errors collectors dream of. Some coins may show soft doubling, die cracks, or variations in the steps of the building in the design. A misaligned die, extra metal, or even slight overpolishing can turn an ordinary penny into a valuable numismatic treasure. Collectors love these because errors are not repeatable. Each one is essentially unique. And in the world of coins, uniqueness means demand. You may be wondering, where do people sell these coins and who buys them? This is the fun part. These coins are bought and sold everywhere in the coin community. Local coin shops often pay good money for high-grade or error examples because they have customers ready to buy. Coin shows attract collectors who travel specifically to find rare 2009 cents in gem condition. Online marketplaces and auction platforms are also popular selling spots because collectors from all around the country compete for the best examples. Some buyers are professional coin dealers building inventory, while others are hobbyists collecting every detail of Lincoln's life story. There are also long-term investors who buy rare varieties expecting values to grow in the future. That demand is exactly why high-quality coins can sell quickly and sometimes for shocking prices. And now, the part everyone waits for, the value. While a common worn circulation 2009 professional life penny is simply worth 1 cent, the story changes dramatically when you look at coins in pristine mint condition. A beautiful uncirculated example can bring anywhere from $7 to $12 depending on shine and sharpness. Special collector strikes, especially the high-grade Denver Mint versions, can climb into serious money. In major auctions, the finest graded examples have reached values up to $725. And if you happen to find a major error coin, the kind that turns heads at coin shows, some collectors are willing to pay even more depending on rarity and visual appeal. So before you spend that 2009 penny, take a moment and check it. Look for strong details, a clean surface, and if you're lucky, unusual errors. You never know. That little coin in your hand might be worth far more than 1 cent. Top 2, we take a journey into the humble penny from 1989, a common coin that, under the right light and condition, might just surprise you. You may see a 1989 1-cent piece and think it's just another penny. But if you pause a moment and inspect carefully, you could be holding something that catches the eye of a serious coin lover or collector. This is more than spare change. This is part of history, quietly waiting to be rediscovered. 1989 wasn't a special anniversary year for the Lincoln Penny series, but that doesn't mean these coins don't have stories to tell. The coin retains the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, steady and dignified. On the reverse is the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of history and legacy that Americans touch every day. For ordinary transactions, these pennies served their purpose, passing from pocket to pocket, buying gum or a bus ride. But over time, some of them have remained strikingly well preserved, untouched by deep scratches, corrosion, or heavy wear. Those survivors become the gems that collectors scan for when rummaging through jars of change or attending coin shows. What gives a common 1989 penny collector value? Condition is everything. A crisp, uncirculated coin with full detail, shiny surface, and no discoloration suddenly becomes more than a cent. Collectors prize these for their aesthetic appeal and their potential to hold up over decades. On top of that, coins that show minting anomalies, perhaps a slight doubling of letters, a faint strike, or tiny die markers, can stand out dramatically. These small flaws or quirks in the minting process can make a penny rare, because not many coins survive with those exact marks intact. North of simple rarity, those errors catch expert eyes and make some 1989 pennies significantly more collectible. Now, if you're curious where people buy and sell these coins, there are many paths. Local coin shops often buy clean, uncirculated ones or ones with visible errors, since they have regular collector customers who trust them. Coin collectors attend coin shows and trade fairs, looking specifically for gems from the 80s and 90s, sometimes traveling far to find well-kept pieces. Online auctions and marketplace platforms are also hot spots. There, bidders from across the country, and sometimes the world, look for coins that match certain criteria: condition, mint mark, or unusual traits. Some buyers are hobby collectors expanding a personal set, others are dealers investing in pieces that may increase in value over time. That strong demand means good 1989 pennies don't sit long on virtual shelves. And now the question you're probably asking: what is it worth? If you pull out a worn 1989 penny from your pocket, its value is just 1 cent, the face value. But if you are lucky enough to find a coin in superb, uncirculated condition, with sharp detail and full luster, it can be worth more. A high-grade, clean example might fetch around $10 to $15 in real market sales, depending on its condition and the buyer's interest. In rare cases, especially if the coin shows a distinct error, or is graded professionally in gem condition, some pieces have seen auction values reaching up to $150 or slightly more when demand is strong among collectors. So next time when you find a 1989 penny, don't toss it aside. Give it a good look under a lamp, check how crisp the details are, how shiny the surface stays, and whether there are any odd markings or signs of mint time quirks. That ordinary-looking piece might just be worth much more than its face value. Top 3, we're diving into a coin that millions of people have touched, spent, dropped, saved, or ignored: the 1968 United States Lincoln 1-cent penny. It may look like an ordinary brown coin that sits at the bottom of your pocket, but if you listen carefully and watch closely, this little piece of metal may surprise you. Many people don't realize that even an everyday penny can become collectible, valuable, and even rare when the right conditions come together. The year 1968 is special in Lincoln cent history because this was the year mint marks returned after being removed for a short time. That means your penny might have no mint mark for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco. Each mint has its own story, its own production quality, and its own potential for rarity. The San Francisco Mint especially produced proof coins with beautiful mirror-like details that collectors hunt for even today. Most of these pennies lived tough lives. They circulated heavily through stores, parking meters, vending machines, and piggy banks. They picked up scratches, dents, discoloration, and where that removes their collectible value. Those heavily used pennies are worth only 1 cent today. But not all of them suffered that fate. Some were placed in albums, forgotten in drawers, sealed in mint sets, or kept by collectors who recognize that coins often appreciate in beauty, and sometimes in money. What really makes the 1968 penny stand out are the errors and anomalies that turn a simple cent into a rare collectible. Some coins show doubled letters or numbers, known as double die errors, which are extremely sought after. Others display repunched mint marks, where the S or D appears slightly doubled or shifted because the mint worker had to strike it more than once. A few may show cracks in the die, small misalignments, or faint details that make them stand out from normal coins. These tiny quirks are what coin lovers search for, because they turn a common coin into something different, something unique. Collectors always ask, where do we buy and sell such coins? And the answer is, almost everywhere in the coin world. Local coin shops are always interested in clean, crisp pennies from the 60s because collectors constantly ask for them. Coin shows bring together experts, enthusiasts, and dealers who love discovering a perfect mint-state penny or a well-defined era piece. Online marketplaces and specialized auction houses also attract buyers who want to complete their Lincoln penny sets. Some buyers are experts who want rare varieties. Others are beginners who simply enjoy owning older coins. Some buy for collection, others buy for investment. And sellers range from ordinary people who found a shiny old coin in a jar to longtime collectors upgrading their sets. The flow of pennies through this community never stops, and demand is always strong. Now it's time for the part everyone waits for, the value. A worn, circulated 1968 penny is still worth 1 cent. But a beautifully preserved uncirculated coin, with strong shine and perfect detail, can bring real market prices of around $10 to $15. High-grade examples, especially those with attractive red color or from the San Francisco Mint, can fetch up to $100 to several $100 depending on condition and demand. Extremely rare error examples in top professional grades have even reached auction values up to a few $1,000s. So next time you pick up a handful of old pennies, pause for a moment. Look at the date. Check the shine. Search for anything unusual. A simple 1968 penny might be more than loose change, it might be a valuable little treasure. Top 4, we are diving into a penny that millions of people overlook every single day, yet collectors around the world still keep an eye on it, hoping to find that one special piece hiding in plain sight. The coin is the 1980 United States Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it looks like just another brown coin we all have in drawers, jars, pockets, and the bottom of our cars, but this little cent has a story that takes us back more than 40 years into America's minting history. 1980 was a year when the Lincoln cent was still made of solid copper, a structure that collectors love because it gives the coin weight, color, and a long-lasting shine. This was the period before the penny switched to a zinc core, so finding one in clean condition today feels like holding a piece of true old-style minting. The coin still shows the classic Lincoln portrait on the front, while the Lincoln Memorial sits proudly on the reverse, a design that served the nation for decades and is still deeply iconic. Millions of these coins were minted, but what makes one 1980 penny stand out is not the number minted but the condition it survived in. Think about it, most of these coins traveled through countless hands for decades. They were used to buy soda, candy, snacks, school supplies, and everything in between. That means many are scratched, worn, or dull. But a small percentage stayed protected. Someone saved them, stored them in a coin album, left them in a drawer untouched, or pulled them from a fresh roll before they went into circulation. Those are the coins collectors chase after, and it gets even better. Some 1980 pennies have minting errors that transform an ordinary coin into a rarity. A few examples include doubled lettering on the date or the word Liberty, a slight shift that makes the letters appear doubled. Other coins show tiny die cracks, off-center strikes, or plating issues. Even a repunched mint mark on a denomination that technically has no mint mark can be linked to the Denver strike when collectors compare details. These quirks were created at the mint itself, and because they cannot be replicated intentionally, each error penny becomes unique, and uniqueness is everything in coin collecting. Where do these coins sell? Where do collectors buy them? The coin world is full of opportunities. Local coin shops often purchase clean uncirculated pennies from the 70s and 80s because new collectors constantly request them. Coin shows and collectible conventions draw people from all over the country, and some dealers specifically look for copper-era Lincoln pennies in high grade. Online marketplaces host auctions where a single rare penny can attract bidders from multiple states. Buyers include longtime collectors upgrading their sets, professionals searching for investment-grade examples, and hobbyists excited to own something unusual. Sellers range from beginners who found a shiny old penny in a jar to experienced collectors who have kept mint-condition rolls for decades. Every day, people buy and sell 1980 Lincoln pennies because the demand never stops. Now let's get to the part everyone waits for, the actual value. A typical worn 1980 penny found in circulation today is worth its face value, 1 cent. But a bright, uncirculated example with clean surfaces, bold shine, and full copper luster can reach real market values of around $5 to $15. A high-grade coin certified by a grading service, especially in extremely fine or brilliant mint state, can sell anywhere from $20 to $100. Rare mint-error examples and top-tier graded coins have reached auction values as high as several $100s, with some exceptional pieces approaching the range of $1,000 when collectors compete for the finest known examples. So the next time you check your pockets or open an old piggy bank, take a moment to inspect every 1980 penny you see. Look at the date, check the shine, tilt it under the light, and notice the details. You may be holding a tiny slice of history, one that could be more valuable than you think. Top 5. We are exploring a coin that many people have touched for generations but almost nobody notices, the 1975 United States Lincoln 1-cent penny. This small copper coin has been hiding in plain sight for nearly 50 years, and yet it still holds secrets, surprises, and in some cases, real value. So sit tight, because by the end of this video you may find yourself digging through your old jars and checking every penny you come across. The 1975 penny belongs to the classic era of copper Lincoln cents. These coins were made with the rich, heavy copper composition that collectors love because it lasts incredibly well and keeps its color for decades. The coin features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, the famous design that has become one of the most recognized images in American coin history. On the back stands the impressive Lincoln Memorial, solid, detailed, and symbolic, a monument captured in a tiny circle of copper. Even though millions of these pennies were minted, not all 1975 pennies are equal. Most circulated heavily, passing through register drawers, lunch counters, parking meters, pockets, and piggy banks. They show scratches, dull surfaces, worn lettering, or sometimes discoloration from moisture or age. Those are just ordinary pennies, but the gems, the coins collectors get excited about, are the ones that survived in exceptional condition. Some were saved straight from bank rolls. Some stayed untouched inside mint sets. Others sat inside someone's drawer for decades without ever entering circulation. These uncirculated pieces shine with a brilliant copper luster, sharp edges, and crisp details. And collectors pay attention to that. What makes certain 1975 pennies even more special are the errors and unusual features that happened during the minting process. A few examples include faint doubling on the date or letters, small die cracks that create tiny raised lines, slightly off-center strikes that push the design to one side, and even coins with extra metal or odd texture caused by die wear. These aren't common, and that rarity is exactly what makes error pennies fascinating. Each error is unique, making the coin more desirable to collectors who hope to find something no one else has. You might wonder, who buys these coins, and where are they sold? The answer is simple: the coin community is huge. Local coin shops often buy older copper pennies in high-grade condition, especially uncirculated ones or those with visible errors. Coin shows attract collectors and dealers from all over, and pennies from the 70s are always popular because many new collectors start with the Lincoln Cent series. Online auction platforms are another major place where 1975 pennies are sold, because people from all across the country compete for the best examples. Buyers include experienced collectors completing their series, hobbyists searching for nice copper coins, investors who believe copper-era cents will continue rising in value, and even beginners discovering the fun of collecting. Sellers range from everyday people who found a shiny penny to dedicated coin hunters who search bank rolls and estate sales. This constant movement keeps the market active and exciting. Now let's get to the part everyone waits for, the real value. A typical worn 1975 penny is worth exactly 1 cent. But if you find a beautiful uncirculated example with full copper shine, it can reach real market prices of around $5 to $15 depending on condition. Higher grade examples, especially those with bright red luster or struck exceptionally well, can bring anywhere from $20 to $100. Error coins with major doubling, off-center strikes, or dramatic die cracks can sell for even more. And top-tier professionally graded coins in gem mint condition have reached auction values ranging from a few $100s all the way up to nearly $1,000 when collectors compete fiercely. So next time you pick up a handful of old pennies, don't rush to spend them. Look at the date. Shine a light on the surface. Check the edges. A 1975 penny might be old, but in the world of coins, age, condition, and rarity can turn copper into treasure. Top 6, we're diving into a coin that millions of Americans have held, spent, and ignored without ever realizing what might be hiding right under their nose. The 1998 United States Lincoln 1-cent penny may look like a simple modern coin, but collectors know that this year holds some big secrets, including varieties, errors, and rare versions that can transform a common penny into real money. So stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for, and you may even want to go searching through your coin jar tonight. The 1998 penny comes from the copper-plated zinc era, yet many of these coins still shine with bright metallic color if they never circulated. On the front, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln that has been on the penny for more than a century. On the back, we still have the classic Lincoln Memorial design, and this is the detail that becomes extremely important for collectors, because tiny changes in the engraving can mean a huge difference in value. 1998 is famous for one major variety that collectors love, the wide AM reverse. On certain pennies from this year, the letters A and M in the word America are spaced noticeably farther apart than normal. This was not supposed to happen, and it came from the mint accidentally using a proof-style reverse die on some circulation coins. That mistake created rare pieces that collectors immediately search for. Many people have found them in pocket change without even knowing what they had, but that's not the only thing that makes 1998 pennies interesting. There are also error coins that came from issues during production, off-center strikes, die cracks running across the coin, plating bubbles that appear like small raised blisters, and even doubled designs where letters or numbers appear slightly repeated. These unexpected flaws make the coin unique, and uniqueness is the heart of value in coin collecting. So who buys these coins and where do they sell? The answer is, everywhere within the coin world. Local coin shops are often the first stop, especially for people who find error pennies or wide AM varieties. Dealers know these are always in demand, so they happily buy them. Coin shows bring together collectors from across the country, and 1998 pennies in high grade always catch attention because they belong to a modern era but still carry exciting collectible value. Online marketplaces and coin auction platforms are another huge marketplace where these coins are regularly sold. Some buyers are serious collectors who want every error and every variety. Others are beginners who just love the thrill of owning something rare. Some buyers are investors looking for coins that might increase in value over the years. And sellers include everyday people who find these coins and change, collectors refining their albums, and dealers selling off duplicates. There is always movement, and where there is movement, there is demand, and where there is demand, value grows. The reason these 1998 pennies sell so well is simple: they are modern enough for people to find, but rare enough that not everyone has one. That combination makes them extremely attractive to collectors. Some people search through thousands of pennies just to find a single wide AM or an interesting mint error. And every time someone finds one, it reminds us that treasure can still be hidden in the most ordinary places. Now let's talk about the part everyone is waiting for, the real value. A common circulated 1998 penny is worth exactly 1 cent. But a clean, uncirculated example with bright luster can sell for around $1 to $5 in the real market. The famous wide AM variety can bring values around $20 to $100 depending on condition. Rare error pennies, especially off-center strikes or strong doubling, can reach anywhere from $50 to several $100s. And the highest grade wide AM pennies, professionally certified at top mint state levels, have reached auction prices of several $100s and in exceptional cases even crossed the line of $1,000. So before you toss your pennies aside, take a moment to check the date. Look closely at the A and the M on the reverse. Inspect the shine, the color, the strike. You might just discover something rare, something valuable, and something worth celebrating. Top 7, and last rare penny, we're diving into a coin that millions of people have touched, spent, saved, and ignored for decades, the 1978 United States Lincoln 1-cent penny. This little copper coin may seem ordinary, but the truth is, within this year lies a world of hidden value, surprising rarity, and collectible potential that most people never notice. So stay with me carefully, because this video may change the way you look at every penny you pick up. The 1978 penny represents the classic era of solid copper Lincoln cents, made just a few years before the United States switched to cheaper zinc cores. These copper coins carry a warm tone and a heavier feel that collectors appreciate. On the front, we see the sharp portrait of Abraham Lincoln, unchanged for decades, yet still powerful, still iconic. On the reverse, the mighty Lincoln Memorial stands tall, engraved with tiny but detailed columns that collectors inspect closely for crispness. Even though millions of 1978 pennies were minted, most of them lived rough lives. They traveled through countless pockets, cash drawers, parking meters, lunch counters, and everyday transactions. Many lost their shine, picked up scratches, or became dark and worn. These are the common pennies, but a small number survived differently. Some were stored in original bank rolls, protected from scratches. Some sat forgotten in drawers for years without ever circulating. Others came from mint sets and were placed directly into collections. These untouched pieces with bright red copper luster and razor-sharp details are the ones collectors hunt for. Condition, more than anything, separates a common penny from a valuable one. Now let's talk about rarity, because 1978 has some fascinating error coins that can turn a simple cent into a treasure. Some pennies from that year show slight doubling on the date or letters, which collectors call double-die varieties. Others display off-center strikes, where the design is pushed to one side, creating a dramatic and eye-catching error that instantly becomes collectible. There are also die cracks, where fine raised lines stretch across the coin due to damage in the minting die. Sometimes you'll even find small die chips, extra metal, or over-polished areas that change how the details appear. Every error tells a different story, and collectors love stories. Now you may wonder, where do people buy and sell these coins? The answer is simple: the coin market is everywhere. Local coin shops often purchase clean, uncirculated 1978 pennies because collectors constantly ask for copper-era cents. Coin shows bring together collectors and dealers who search for rare errors or high-grade examples from the 70s. Online auction platforms attract buyers from all over the country, bidding on coins that catch their eye. Some buyers are serious collectors completing their sets, others are new hobbyists excited to get their hands on old American copper coins, and some are investors who believe that the value of high-grade copper pennies will continue to rise over time. Sellers range from everyday people who found a shiny old penny in a jar to longtime collectors who are refining their collection. That constant buying and selling keeps demand alive, and demand creates value. Now it's time for the part everyone waits for, the value of the 1978 penny. A worn penny from this year is worth exactly 1 cent. But a bright, uncirculated example with full red luster can bring real market prices of around $5 to $15. A high-grade, professionally certified mint state coin can sell for anywhere from $20 to $100 depending on quality. And rare error pennies, especially those with strong doubling, dramatic off-center strikes, or bold die cracks, have reached auction values from several $100s all the way up to nearly $1,000 in exceptional cases. So the next time you come across a 1978 penny, don't ignore it. Shine a light on it, flip it over, check the details, and look for anything unusual. What you think is just a penny might actually be a collectible, a hidden treasure, or even a valuable rarity waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this detailed look into the world of coin collecting, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another story of hidden value in everyday coins. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting.